Hey guys, Fritz Franz again, and here I am with a ARMA 3 video. In this video, as you can see, I'm in the Apache helicopter again. I set up this mission. There's two sides. We have the rebel faction, which is holding a town. They have about maybe about 20 to 30 infantry, with two technicals, one Afghanistan, one BMP-2 and a T-72. If you don't know, the Afghansky is it's an AA piece, anti-aircraft, pretty effective. The other side is going to be the local military force being supported by two Apache gunships. The local military force has three BMP-2s with about 50 infantry. As you can probably figure, the sides are pretty much in favor of the local military force with the two Apaches. So as you can probably see here, I'm messing around with the console screens. The left console is going to be the gun camera, so I can see what the gunner's looking at. The right console there is going to be the altitude that I'm flying at. So I'm trying to line myself up on the tail of this lead Apache. I want to fly like right behind him. So right here, I assume that I think this might be realistic. I'm not too sure. I'm not too familiar with the Apaches and its weapon systems at all. There's that AAA flying up there, and here I am firing rockets, and I have no idea how to aim them. But if I remember correctly, I think the Apache pilots do have some sort of aiming reticle that comes like attached to their helmet. I could be wrong though. Let me know in the comments if I am. And if you can hear that clicking sound, I'm getting locked on by something. I think the rebel faction, I may have put man pads in the town. So I got a lock. And hit. I'm trying to evade. I'm trying to get as low to the ground as I can. So I didn't know at this point, but that smoke that just flew over there was actually the lead Apache that got shot down. And I'm starting to feel confident. I'm not starting to worry less and less about the hydraulic failure. I'm starting to feel like I can control the aircraft, so I'm starting to slow it down a bit to see if I can get the gunner to get on sights on the enemy in the town. And at this point, I start realizing the aircraft's out of control. It's not responding to what I'm trying to do. I'm trying my hardest to recover it, but it looks like it's game over at this point. And against all odds, for some reason, the helicopter does not explode. 9 times out of 10 in ARMA, the helicopter would explode. Forgive the screenshots here too, by the way. I have my squad command key binded to my screenshot key for Steam. So you could probably hear the fighting is still pretty intense in the town. So I'm heading back to the Apache. I just want to see if there's any inventory that I can take from it. Sometimes with these helicopters in ARMA 3, they'll spawn with inventory inside, like extra first aid kits and extra like M4 magazine for American helicopters, with about 10 mags and a couple grenades. So usually I like to grab a couple if I know the vehicle's disabled or something like that. Or in the very rare case, I somehow survive a crash landing like that. So this was the local forces staging site with their parked trucks, and as you saw, the BMP-2, which is not supposed to be there. I know 100% I gave that BMP-2 waypoints to follow heading into the town. And here's what I'm talking about: how some the vehicles will have inventory in them already, just automatically. So I figure I'm just going to hop in one of these trucks. I'm just going to cruise up to the town, try to figure out what's happening, and see if I can help with the progress of taking it. There's a rabbit on the road, which I believe I successfully avoid. So at this point, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going in spectator mode. I'm going to figure out what exactly is going on in the town. So as you can see, the local military are held up at the gas station there. There's the Apache. I imagine that probably crash landed on probably the lead group of guys here. They're in a pretty substantial firefight with some of the advance, I guess the advance party of rebel troops, or whatever you want to call it. Because I think I only set a patrol for this front section of town. So the rest of the infantry that we see proceeding on the rebel side, which are marked with the red, are squads that have spawned deeper inside of town that have left the area. Like, I don't even see where the T-72's at, honestly. And I spawned it right there at that square, so I don't know where he's at. The BMP-2's up. The technicals are down. It looks like the rebel infantry are starting to establish like a front line. So I'm looking around for where that gunfire comes from. One of the local military forces pushed up the BMP-2 and went right. I'm gonna guess it went right down the highway. So who knows if it took any enemy fire or not? It may have been able just to push down the street without any resistance. I'm not sure. So at this point, I know that the gas station's safe, so I know I can drive up there, dismount, and figure out where I want to go. So, I don't know why. I was looking for an optic on this guy. I already knew ahead of time. These guys don't carry optics. They're all just standard, as you can see, AK-74s. No sights on them at all. But I made it worth my time. I took a couple of grenades off of them. So it looks like the local forces have pushed up about another block up ahead. So I remember while I was spectating, though, it looked like there was a battle line forming here on the right. So I'm gonna go over there and see if I can get into some contact. And there's more rabbits on the road, just hopping away. At this point, it looks like the local military force has really pushed up. But now this is the point where they're starting to take contact, and I have no idea where the contact's coming from. I pop my head up. I take huge fire. And once again, I got no idea where the fire's coming in from.
Technical, half a click,
That was really a ballsy play to run out there in the open like that. At this point, I'm surprised I haven't came in contact with anybody yet. But that's about to change.
APC, 400 meters north.
So you can hear over the radio comms there. The AI has said contacted a BMP. That is not what I want to hear. I do not want to face a BMP2. I got no AT, no nothing. As far as I know, for the local military force at this point in the town, the only thing they have to defend against a BMP2 is the RPGs. And I don't trust the AI enough to land their RPG shots. So that guy, man, he caught me by surprise. He had me dead of runs. And as you can see, he messed me up. So as you can probably hear with the audio, the fighting has died down quite a bit. But I still hear an engine revved up. And I know, the last I checked, the BMP-2 was alive, and the T-72 was unaccounted for. So I have no idea where they are at. So when I was creating the mission, this little square here is like the main square of the town. This was where I had spawned in the T-72 and about 2 squads of rebels. And as you saw, for the most part, that square is pretty much abandoned right now. And boom. I don't know if you saw it there. It was real quick, but that was the T-72 rolling in. And thank goodness this guy is an RPG, so I'm like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. So I'm assuming the RPG, I'm assuming its turret has been damaged because it didn't even look my way or anything. As you're going to see, I get out there and fire a couple more shots. And it sounds like the AI is also firing RPG rounds at it as well. If I remember correctly, the little, I guess, trivia for you, if I remember correctly, and I do encourage you to fact check me on this so you have the correct information, but I do believe the T-72 was the most mass-produced tank, I believe, by the USSR during the Cold War. I could definitely be wrong on that. Yeah, I could definitely be wrong. The only other tank that I could think of that the USSR would have mass-produced would have been T-34s, but they would have been produced definitely. Oh, there's our BMP-2, a friendly BMP-2, probably from the staging area. But anyway, I digress. Probably would be the only other Soviet tank that I could think of that would be mass-produced like that would have been the T-34 during World War II. But I don't know how long the manufacturing of the T-34s went on for. So yeah, the T-34s, they could have been, their production could have been stopped before the Cold War. Well, no, that wouldn't make sense, because the Cold War started in 1946. So yeah, they would have been still producing. So yeah, I'm just going to end this with saying, fact check what I just said about the T-72 being the most produced USSR tank. during the Cold War. Fact check me on that because I'm going to check myself after I've done this video. So, the fighting seems to diminish a lot. I'm checking spectator mode just to kind of see, just to kind of confirm my beliefs that the fighting is pretty much over. I'm checking for that BMP2, by the way, the enemy BMP2, and somehow with ARMA 3A's AI, they somehow flipped their BMP2. So, not too sure how that happened, but as you're going to see, I'm going to zoom out here a little bit in a second. The local military forces, the infantry AI, is going to start swarming the area where those tankers are and surrounding it. At this point, I'm just kind of showing the aftermath of the attack on the town. About to hit thermals, I believe here. Yeah, here we are. Thermals to see where the casualties and the wreckage are. So here we see these casualties are mainly on this main street of the town. This is pretty accurate with my other playthrough where I played as one of the local military forces infantry. Most of the fighting is done on this main street. So at this point, I pretty much call this a victory for the local military forces. Uh, the mission's pretty much done. It's over. It played itself out, and I had a good amount of fun with it, especially with launching those RPGs at that T-72. Hey, and I just want to say, if you guys have watched this video all the way till this point, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. And I hope if you're liking the content, you leave a like or subscribe or a comment. Um, yeah, I appreciate that. Even if the comment is constructive criticism, please do. I definitely could use the constructive criticism. Thank you very much for that. And once again, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks. Bye.